ZeRo4 versus rapha. As always, I'm djWHEAT. Joining me, Slasher. Hello, buddy. Hopefully you sound like Skype reboot good.
I sound sexy.
See, that's what it is. It's got to just be after a while. It just starts to sound a little bit poopy.
So our maps are going to be CTN, DM13, and DM6 with T7 and T9 as the tiebreaker. So we are going to see rapha versus ZeRo4 in our first best of 5.
Well, then it's a good thing that I went and got that frickin' water and bathroom break, I suppose.
I mean, this is going to be really sick.
How sick is it going to be, Slasher?
Like Arizona sick.
What?
I meant like getting sick at Arizona, not like.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move up some game sounds here and give you guys some visuals. As we've got rapha versus ZeRo4. Both of these guys with their own histories that involve championship wins, Slasher. One of them very prominent between the years 2000 and 2004, while the other one seemed to pick up in the latter half of the first decade of the 21st century, if that made any sense at all. and really dominated, over the last couple of years. And so these two champions clash in the Silent Gamers upper bracket finals, and of course the loser of this will go on to face the djWHEAT, whoever it is, versus djWHEAT versus the Noobs. So we still got some great Quake action here for you, and this is undoubtedly going to be one of the better games, I hope, that we will see today.
Yes, and I just wanted to give a little info for people, because thank you to Reddit for putting us on the front page and getting everyone over there. There's actually a lot of comments in Reddit from deaf gamers wondering like what we're doing and what all this is, and if this is going to lead to anything, and why they're like real players playing and all that. So this is an exhibition tournament which is supposed to help gain exposure for silentgamers.org, which is a new website which is supposed to do help competition for deaf and hard of hearing gamers. So they figured, why not throw a Quake tournament with a lot of the prestigious and well-known North American Quake talent, and then have us broadcast it out to everyone, for everyone to love and enjoy, while also promoting hard of hearing gaming in the future. So the plan is for their events to hold tournaments specifically for hard of hearing players. So that is the goal of this week.
And thank you very much for these guys allowing us to broadcast. Don't forget, yesterday, QuakeLive.tv did the broadcasting of the first day. And, we just want to say thanks for the opportunity. Glad that we could be bringing you this fragging action here for the remainder of the afternoon. And then also very happy because we're going to be having a special Live on 3 feature where we may dive a little bit more into StarCraft 2, but more importantly, our feature with Level Up, which is a new company, if you will, coming out of SoCal, and they are all about the fighting game community. I expect great things from them, and we'll hear about their plans and their upcoming event. That'll be after the tournament. That'll feature Alex Valle, Jimmy Wynn, and AJ Papa, all from that organization. And you can check out their webpage if you want to get some early info on what they're doing at levelup-series.com.
These guys are ready. Are we ready? Are you guys ready?
I'm freaking ready. Bring this shit on. Oh, yeah, telefrag. Boom. I want to see 8 of those this game.
Prepare to fight.
All right, here we go. Prepare to fight. Enough of the silliness. We're on ZTN. It's going to be our first map as we get started live on 3, 2, 1, and here we go, fight. And I am starting right here on rapha. He's going to drop down, grenades that mega. He's going to grab the rail, and a nice little placement of that grenade coming out of the teleporter, just in case there was a chase there. But interesting start here for rapha. You're looking at 2 world-class players. Both of them been champions in their own time, and now they clash here. I understand that they do play some friendly games every once in a while. Not sure, what the win-loss ratio is, but don't forget that rapha, won 4 consecutive Quake 3 events. Is that accurate, Slasher?
QuakeLive.
Well, yeah, it's all the same.
And then the rest of it. Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, back to the action. 9 minutes, 14 seconds on the clock. And we did have some rail exchanges there. No one really shooting out anything too impressive, but you know when you deal with this high caliber of players that you're going to see smart moves being made pretty consistently. We see him damage himself to take those 25s just in case he gets the upper hand in one of these fights. Of course, it can work against him too. Nice bounce rocket by ZeRo4. Already has rapha down to 17 points of health. That will allow ZeRo4 to grab that RA. And let's take a look at him. He does catch rapha out of the corner of his eye, and now it's just a game of cat and mouse. And there he sees him, and rapha did jump. And remember, bro, he was taking those 25s. Maybe not such a wise decision now, as ZeRo4 finally chased him down, got the first frag, but a conversion. How easily will it happen, or will it happen at all? Oh, barely made that rocket jump at 8 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock. He turns back around, lands a beautiful rail, and could be looking, wow, what? Gotta watch your ammo.
So, another one too. So 2 defensive grenades there from rapha. Maybe saves him this red here, and maybe can get him back into this game. Looked like it was going to be an easy 3rd frag for ZeRo4. They're able to take red and mega, but nice grenades there by rapha. He's not going to be able to take this red or that mega, but it keeps him only 2 frags down instead of 3 or 4 or even more there.
And there's still a lot of time left in this game. 2-0. ZeRo4 with somewhat of a dominance here on this map right now. He's up by 2 frags, but you know that's not a comfortable lead quite yet to any of these players. And we are going to have RA coming up here very soon. ZeRo4 is going to be in position for that. It is up. We also have a YA which is just taken by rapha. So 124, 196 for ZeRo4. And let's just see what he's going to do on his next move. He seems to be kind of hunting here. We're going to have another exchange of rails as he waits for the mega. He does pick that up. No problem. The grenades are going to start coming in, and he does get hit with a little bit of splash damage. Now the LGs come out, and rapha definitely with a little bit more of an advantage. Will rapha chase? It doesn't look like it, and now ZeRo4 will retreat back into the YA plasma room to gear up for another red armor, and there it is.
Yeah, so rapha did hit that rail, but ZeRo4 wasn't able to lose too much in that fight. Rapha did win that LG fight, but ZeRo4 was still able to take that red and take that yellow. And now he does have slight position on rapha on that mega, making rapha jump towards mega before him. But rapha is still able to get the mega and push ZeRo4 away. So now rapha has ZeRo4 on the run. Will ZeRo4 try to get this 50? Doesn't look like it. So rapha will probably get this red, and ZeRo4 is going to go back and get the yellow and the 50, and he doesn't know, so he jumps towards red platform.
What?
He must have thought that it was spawning. He didn't know rapha already picked it up, so a huge mistake there by ZeRo4 jumping towards that red platform. This is going to give rapha complete control. He's going to get this next mega, and he's going to be able to push towards this next red.
Yeah, and he baited ZeRo4 very nicely on that mega. He waited for those grenades. He didn't make himself seen. ZeRo4 thought it was clear. He went in for it. We're tied now 2-2. But I have to say, it's not necessarily because rapha has played so exceptionally. I have to say that it's 2v2 because ZeRo4 just kind of made a really blinding mistake right there. I know that he's probably killing himself over that. And rapha's going to now hit a very nice rail. Forces ZeRo4 to either go to that teleporter or back out. ZeRo4 gets some damage, but, you know, is it really going to impact it that much, as rapha will be in great position now to either defend for this this RA and grab the mega. And there it goes. ZeRo4 will grab it. He does land a rail as he jumps across. This is impressive in itself, but we got a tie game now. 5 minutes 24 seconds on this clock. We're about halfway through this first map, and remember folks, this is a best of 5, so it's going to go a long ways, and we know rapha has some histories when it comes to best of 5s.
Yeah, I mean, only recently we saw rapha end to hang in the North American Intel Extreme Masters Finals, and rapha had the lead 2 maps to none, and was in the lead in the 3rd map, and the hang was able to come back and win that series and the American Championship 3-2. And then rapha was able to do that same thing to Sparty at QuakeCon. So he has experience coming from both sides of the coin with the comeback and having that comeback done on him. So rapha with some nice rockets there in that plasma room is going to put ZeRo4 away, and it's going to allow rapha to pretty much get this next red and have a run on this yellow and this mega here. But ZeRo4 with 2 nice rockets.
Yeah.
Will win that and take the lead,
No, that was
and
nice.
have advantage on this mega.
And you know what? We're seeing just an amazing display here of a lot of knowledge when it comes to this game. You know, watching these guys battle downstairs in the Mega Health as Rapha takes another frag on the conversion. He's probably going to get this one for number 5 as well. He picks up the 225s. Nicely done as he paints the wall back there with a sort of reminder for ZeRo4. But, you know, watching those guys fight in the Mega Health room and you know, watching them LG to rail transition because they're so familiar with how far their LG actually goes. And just to see that you know, high level of play is really, really nice. Some great shots and some great action from these guys. Rapha, though, has control 5-2. He's put it together pretty nicely. But again, remember, it came from that pretty big mistake by ZeRo4. So we'll see if Rapha, I don't think he's going to have much of a problem holding on right now. Seems to be very comfortable in this position on ZTN. So, well, look at that. Nice grenades on the exit of that teleporter. 6-2 now, Slasher. 3 minutes, 18 seconds left to go.
Yeah, so Rapha is doing a nice job there after a slow start in ZeRo4 with some, you know, some mistakes early on, able to give the lead. Back to Rapha. Rapha's looked pretty comfortable since then. He's just pretty much controlling the items and just going around and doing his thing. I mean, Rapha now only with 50 health and does have that 200 armor stack, but now those 225s do come up, so any side advantage that ZeRo4 might have had before has been negated. ZeRo4 is in control of this Mega, and he does have position on this next red, so if he's able to keep Rapha at bay here, he may be able to go try and get this next Mega and try to do a comeback.
And I mean, with 4 frags, you know, 2 minutes and 30 seconds is starting to look a little daunting of a task. ZeRo4 is going to go past a minefield of grenades coming out by Rapha. But you can see with that 4 frag lead, ZeRo4, he's going to stay aggressive because he knows he has to make a move. But Rapha is just too good at dealing with such a thing. Some good grenades by ZeRo4 on the defensive, but as he gets ready to go for that red armor, Rapha's waiting for it. He grabs another one, 7-2, and now ZeRo4 going to take another frag, another, I guess, trip down under. And with 2 minutes left to go, 8-2, Rapha is separating himself and making it impossible for ZeRo4 to win this.
I mean, yeah, so that pretty much is going to solidify the win. That frag right there and that Mega is going to solidify the win for Rapha here in this first map. It's really interesting just looking back at the beginning of the map. ZeRo4 had 2 nice frags in the beginning and then had Rapha on the run at the grenade launcher to get that 3rd frag, Mega, and then red. And then Rapha takes the grenade launcher, jumps off, hits a grenade directly in the face, and then hits a second splash grenades to the 225s. And then since then, ZeRo4 has not fragged Rapha again. So if ZeRo4 had gotten that 3rd frag, maybe 4th frag, and taken control, this game could have been way different.
Yeah, I mean, it was... it really has to suck looking back on something like that and going, well, shit, you know, I know exactly how I lost it. I just made a silly mistake. And I'm just really surprised why he wouldn't have, you know, at least guessed. You know, I can understand if you need to peek to find out if he grabbed it, but I mean, he just flat out thought that, you know, he picked it up or he hadn't picked it up. And so, yeah, I thought it was a really, really grave mistake, and it obviously gave Rapha the win here. 13-2 is the score, 43 seconds on the clock, and that'll be it. So tell us about the map selection here for map number 2.
Well, I am checking that right now.
What is
the second map is the M13, and then the 3rd map will be DM6.
Oh man. All right. Interesting.
So 27 and 29 will be the 4th and 5th map in the series. So we're gonna see the 3 older maps first, and then the newer maps afterwards if this goes to a 5 map.
And good games were exchanged. 3-2-1 on the buzzer. And we'll hear the wheat defective buzzer here. It doesn't quite work very well. There we go. There we go.
Oh, just to let everyone know, this is an online tournament. That's why they do have 60 ping right now. And to put this in perspective in terms of like comparison to like an RTS game, 60 ping in an RTS game is like really good, and you can't really notice that much of a difference. 60 ping in an FPS game, while it's good, it's still hard. Like your shots still don't hit when you shoot them. Everything is still a half a second ahead or behind. You know, so it is even right now, but it is much harder to play online FPS at pretty much any game.
We're going to be switching on over to our next map here in a second.
We have not seen DM13 yet.
You're right, we haven't all day today, which is welcome. DM13 is also a map I'm not like, you know, it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right.
I mean, it's been around. DM13's been along for, you know, a long time. It was pro no DM9 back in the CPL days. So we will be going live.
We're going live, and here we go. 3, 2, 1, and we start off with rapha. Let's start off with ZeRo4 this time, as he is going to get the RL and the YA, and he's going to immediately bust on over for the Mega and grabs that too. So ZeRo4 with a phenomenal start as he's going to go up the jump pad into the plasma room. See if rapha had picked up that far YA, and of course he had. He's going to leave that one shard there and click it out, and was not able to get a shot off on rapha. And 30 seconds into this matchup, so far so good.
So rapha is
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. They were watching the schedule.
Oh.
They were watching the schedule. Yeah, my bad. Continue.
Okay, so no one has fragged yet. rapha does have control. I'm gonna make something now. rapha does have control of the Mega and the Red, so rapha is really stacked right now. ZeRo4 originally did have that Red, but rapha was able to regain control of the major 2 items now. ZeRo4 is just wandering around, trying to pick up those yellows and get a stack to fight rapha in middle, who is just controlling, going really slow, pacing himself around, waiting for that one moment where he can get that one big bounce rocket, shoot ZeRo4 up in the air, and then hit 2 more. So rapha's still with that big stack and controlling all the items.
8 minutes, 35 seconds on the clock. And here we go, a big collision there in the back hallways. And ZeRo4 will get out of there looking, I guess, okay, but not as good as rapha. He's at 140, 185. And although ZeRo4 had a very, very good start in the opening spawn, you know, he really hasn't been on to hold on to control, I think, the way that he wants to. LG's exchanged here. rapha taking the bitter end of it, down to 30 points of health. ZeRo4 at 46 and 2, and that will give ZeRo4 the opportunity to, I guess, help back up. But oh my god, dude, he only had to wait 1 more second. He's going to come back out, takes a little bit of splash damage. Nice dodge on that rocket, but who's going to go for it first? rapha grabs it. ZeRo4, what the hell? He melts.
And then so rapha takes the lead, 0 to -1. ZeRo4 is going to have control over this middle area, though. He might be able to fend off rapha for this next red. We'll see what ZeRo4 does. rapha is not in the middle yet, going to play behind. He is going to concede red to ZeRo4, and this is going to allow ZeRo4 to get to Mega really quickly before rapha does, and that he will. So even though ZeRo4 lost that frag, ZeRo4 is now able to regain both major power-ups and keep rapha in that back yellow hallway without much to do.
I mean, I guess he should be happy, and it's all attributed to the fact that rapha did walk away from that with a few band-aids and a sling on his arm. I mean, he was not looking good at all. And ZeRo4 is going to come out here to the middle. He just heard an armor being picked up. He takes a nice guess on that teleporter, and it was perfect, just spot on. Does nail rapha. He's going to go down for the LG battle, and ZeRo4 not as precise as rapha is. He's going to retreat with the rocket. It's going to be a gun to the Mega Health room, and a great rocket by ZeRo4, 80 and 80, although there is the armor advantage for rapha, and he does pick up that Mega, but not at the cost of, oh my god.
rapha sneaky going towards the right side. LG ZeRo4 positioning himself so the LG is going to kill ZeRo4 right before he takes that red. So rapha with the frag, going to get his first frag on the board for himself. And take that 2 frag lead, was able to get that res. That's going to keep rapha in control and not allow ZeRo4 to do much. ZeRo4 is going to be stuck on that Mega platform, but it hasn't spawned. Eats a grenade in the face. That's just going to make it that much harder for ZeRo4 to do anything, you know, in the next minute or 2 without dying. But he is going to seemingly get that Mega. So, I mean, that red armor, so ZeRo4 does get that red, but he's trapped now.
Yeah, he's going to have to rocket jump up. Oh my god.
He doesn't, I don't even think he has one now.
Oh no! The lava! Oh, the lava. Wow, that's crazy. The 1 to -2 is the score, as ZeRo4 on the verge of rage quitting, going full tilt here. No, I'm just kidding. He seems to be holding his composure very well, considering he did steal away a Mega, but I would say the bigger concerns right now are the armors, because if Rapha gets that LG beat on you, he's definitely going to make you pay for it. Rapha not going to fall for the same trick twice. Nicely done, as ZeRo4 waits for him outside that exit teleporter. Instead, Rapha decides he's going to make a rocket jump out over to the LG side of the map, and Rapha finds him again. Oh, lordy lord. -3 as ZeRo4 blows himself up, and he even has to issue himself a ha-ha in chat.
No, things are not going well for ZeRo4, and ZeRo4 eats a rocket in the face from Rapha up above. Rapha has complete control of this map now. It's pretty stacked. ZeRo4 doesn't even know Rapha's right below him. He's going to rocket jump up and probably catch ZeRo4 coming through this hallway after this yellow. The Rapha's going to go back, get that yellow. Now he's going to chase. Has ZeRo4 down pretty low. He's able to jump one rocket, but not the second one. ZeRo4 is not going to be able to get that rocket launcher before Rapha gets this Mega. So Rapha's going to get the Mega and probably have position on this red, which he doesn't. So ZeRo4 does steal away this red. This might be his opportunity with 4 minutes left to go. To get back in this game.
I mean, an opportunity is one thing, 6 frags is another, and that's why I think I really have to look at this game. You know, Rapha did kind of slip there a little bit, letting that RA get through, but he's been able to hold on. And the thing is that when these two are fighting, another sneaky move by Rapha, dropping in, pushes ZeRo4 away from that red. He's going to go for it, down to 20 points of health, and Rapha, and this is exactly what I was about to bring up, Slasher, is that Rapha has just narrowly been winning each battle. But honestly, that's all it takes in Quake, is all you have to do is be winning those battles that are taking place on the battlefield. But he's come out damaged each and every time. It just goes to show, A, if ZeRo4 had a little bit more, but B, also just, Rapha knows when he can push and when he can't. He seems to be reading ZeRo4 very, very well, and being the aggressor when it's appropriate. But, ultimately that sneak effect that Rapha has been working out very good for him. I don't think at this point ZeRo4 can bring it back. I think you suffer 3 flags like that and another one like that. I mean, how really do you recompose yourself and bring yourself back? At this point, you get ready for the next game.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe ZeRo4 would just try to bring the scoreline back to 0. I'm not sure if he wants to finish with -3 as his final score, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, Rapha just had control of this map. Besides in the beginning, ZeRo4 had the better spawn and the better advantage. He had that red and that Mega, that Mega health within the beginning, but then gave it all away, and Rapha has had control since pretty much the first minute of the game.
He has, and ZeRo4, the entire time, hats off to him. Oh, a nice rocket. And fortunately, that's not going to be. Oh, no, the lava. 2 minutes and 16 seconds on the clock. Mega's up. We see some rockets was just taken. Excuse me. And with the 2-minute warning about the sound, I think, I think it's going to be really tough. 8 frags, next to impossible. I think that Rapha's a smart enough player. He could definitely play this game, the latter half of the game, in a turtle shell. He hasn't had to early on. Again, Rapha, not to take anything away from his own skill, but you got to see that in the last 2 games, ZeRo4 has kind of beaten himself. And that could mean that Rapha could take an easy 3-game victory away in this best of 5. But we'll see what tale is told on the third and what could be the final map. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, and it's still an 8-frag game.
Well, in the next map, we will be seeing DM6. So I'm hoping ZeRo4 maybe is a little more comfortable than he will be on this map. CCN, he looked pretty good on CCN. Here he hasn't really looked strong at all. But I have a feeling he should be coming out swinging on DM6 and ready to go. I mean, the IEM North American Finals show that Rapha can be beaten even when he's in the lead 2-0. It is really hard, but it is possible, and if anyone could do it, it would be ZeRo4.
Yeah, I think that you know you're right. Again, it just comes down to making those mistakes, and that would be true for any professional player, Slasher. I mean, wouldn't you agree? Like, you know, a lot of times, obviously these guys are going to display some amazing movement, some good timing, some awesome aim. But you got to know that a lot of times it is about the mistakes that are either made or the mistakes that you make that make you win and lose. So, you know, in this particular case, ZeRo4 just kind of his game is laden with some mistakes that he can't make against a player like Rapha. 9 to -2 is the score now, as one frag was picked up by ZeRo4, but how much will that lessen the blow going into the third map and this best of 5 between these two players? And, you know, good for ZeRo4, this isn't a best of 3, because I think that would be a little bit more depressing going into that lower bracket, you know, just having those two games lost. And we'll be going on to the third game here in just a moment. So what do you think?
Yeah, so we will be going into DM6. I mean, I have high hopes for ZeRo4 to, you know, come out strong on this map and try to control the pace. Rapha has been very sneaky, especially on DM13 there. Totally surprising ZeRo4 on several occasions and gaining the upper hand. So we'll see if ZeRo4 can maybe adapt a little bit more this time to Rapha's play. And, you know, being 5 steps ahead and all, it is hard to catch up.
And now you have to win 3 games in a row. And that is where a meta, you know, little additional battle happens, if you will. Where, you know, this is going to be one of the toughest 3-game sets for ZeRo4 to have to play. And, you know, additionally, it's where Rapha can shut it down. So, oh, not again. I got thrown again.
Chaotic says maybe we can watch the start of this one, Wheat.
Hey, thanks a lot, Chaotix. You had to be that guy, didn't you? Appreciate it. What's up, Jared? Glad to see some Quake names coming and still knowing that they love their game. And I see a ready up from ZeRo4, and that means you know, he means business. Here we go. Slasher, we're not going to have to wait long for the third game. And, oh, look at that, guys. 3, 2, 1. And we are live. I'm going to follow ZeRo4 once again off of the spawn. Oh, my God. It's going to be a short-lived first frag for Rapha and for ZeRo4, as ZeRo4 decided to go for that mega, and he basically gave up a frag and red armor to Rapha. Rapha looks like he is a freight train without brakes, going about 1,000,000 miles an hour, and this is not good. I would say that maybe ZeRo4 is a cow. What kind of fine red mist do you think that would make? It's already 3-0. We're about 35 seconds in.
ZeRo4 with that, you know, losing that frag really in the beginning, tried to make that up by charging Rapha at that yellow and was unsuccessful, and then losing that third frag at red. It's not so bad now for ZeRo4. He is able to take that red, so it does have a slight armor stack right now over Rapha. It's only 1 minute in the game. There's still a lot of time left, and ZeRo4 does have time to regain his composure here and try to fight for this next red mega.
And it is going to have to be an impressive fight. I mean, I guess he's going to get it. He does. He pushed him away. He pressured him enough. Of course, pressure being a huge factor, especially on DM6. ZeRo4 using his machine gun very appropriately, but Rapha with a nice rail, and I'm not sure that ZeRo4 even has one yet, and he doesn't, looking on over. He's going to jump in and try to get the LG action done on Rapha, and he does manage to bring it back, but how can he convert, or can he convert at all? He's going to pick up that RA, and I know he's going to want to get his hands on a railgun eventually here. Oh, he did. He picked that up off the spot. Nicely done. 3-1 now. 2 frags. Pay more attention, Wheat, and there we go. 8 minutes and 13 seconds on the clock. There's still a lot of time here. Anything could happen.
That was a big frag there. ZeRo4 caught Rapha in that middle platform and was able to catch Rapha out with rail. That was some amazing LG there by Rapha. ZeRo4 still had the scream on him. It was coming from rail, but Rapha with just too much LG onto ZeRo4. Now ZeRo4 is going to be stuck with 2 health. and not a whole lot going for him. So he, ZeRo4 did catch a really nice frag onto Rapha in the middle. He was able to take that rail away from Rapha without having to go get it. But Rapha and that LG storming back and taking control back of this game.
Yeah, Rapha like stuck him to the corner. I mean, there was nothing he could do. And that was an unfortunate frag for him. Rapha now with full control of everything. Knows Mega's up and is actually going to bait with it, but maybe a 2-second delay on that bait was a little bit too much. He's got the 4-frag lead, though, so there's not much that he has to worry about right now other than running his patterns, running his routes, and, denying ZeRo4 this health and this armor that he needs in order to battle up with him. ZeRo4 is going to drop down. The RA is up, but again, you see that LG coming out. Rapha's going to plus back, get that rail in, and we're down to now 7 minutes left in this game. ZeRo4 going to, again, I don't know. I don't know his weapon selection. Pretty poor, but he did get a nice scream there on Rapha. He just needs to bring it back in his favor. Rapha, I think, is just outplaying ZeRo4 right now.
Well, ZeRo4 did do a nice job there. He did take Rapha down to about 5 health. He is going to go to get control of this red now. And probably set up for this next Mega. So as long as he can keep Rapha from getting too many of those 25 bubbles. Rapha did get 2 in the back hallways, but he has not gotten that one near the rail, and he hasn't gotten the other one in the middle platform. So we'll see if Rapha is going to try to. ZeRo4 does spot him up on top. Rapha isn't able to get after anything and has to go all the way back towards yellow. So ZeRo4 does have a big stack now. It's only 4 minutes into this game. He will have a large amount of time to attack Rapha right now.
All right, 5 minutes and 57 seconds on the clock, and his time is going to slowly drip away, and Rapha is going to take advantage every single second that is shaved off there. ZeRo4 sitting on the middle platform, just kind of waiting for an opportunity here. He knows that Mega's going to be up soon. He's going to decide to fight this one out from the middle area. Rapha is there on cue. He does manage to go up, but he's going to instantly retreat back, grab that RA. Great bounce rocket by ZeRo4, but nothing to follow up with it. He's going to come down with that LG again. Not a smart move, as Rapha had the advantage with him falling from the air, holds him up a little bit, finishes him off with a rail, and I'm afraid that frag could probably end it here and give Rapha a commanding win, a rail off the spawn at 7-1 slasher, and I think Rapha's going to be sitting very pretty here in the grand final.
Oh, you can't call it just yet. Over Rapha comes in and runs over ZeRo4. Just hits 2 rockets right into him and then takes Mega away from him. I was just going to say, you can't call it that early. There's still another 5 minutes to go.
No, you know what? 9 frags. And then you got to also, look, I mean, I'm watching how ZeRo4 is playing. Now he's making risks in order to try to get control and take them back. But even then, are you going to really expect, if you get 1 frag on Rapha, to convert, that many times that you need to? I think it's fair. I think it's fair. Watch ZeRo4 and kind of how he's playing now. I mean, Rapha is with 79 points of health, was dropped back with the 50, and you know what? I hope I eat my words, because I love being wrong in situations like this. But I'm afraid that maybe Rapha kind of not only fragged ZeRo4's body, but also maybe his, psyche a little bit. I don't know. It's a tough thing to come back from.
I mean, Rapha is playing really nice right now. He has the timing down perfectly to attack and get a frag on ZeRo4 a second before Mega spawns and a second before Red spawns, and then he'll offset the time by a few seconds. And he's kept ZeRo4 really off his game. Another great peak rail by Rapha. He hits like one of those, hits another, and he's catching ZeRo4 exactly where he thinks he'll be, and then he ends up being there. So, I mean, Rapha's going real slow now, waiting towards that red. No ZeRo4 there. He does jump down, misses both those rails, but it's still an 8 frag game. That's 3.5 minutes to go. Rapha with a nice defensive rocket, and now ZeRo4 going to bust in. And ZeRo4 is going to show how to rush down, and he makes a 7 frag lead now.
Prove me wrong.
Now it's ZeRo4's time. See if he can come back.
Prove me wrong. I want to eat crow, and there he is. Oh, huge rocket jump up to the top. He's going to land a couple more, pulls out the LG, and there's number 1. We are 6 frags away from let's make wheat eat crow time. 2 minutes, 48 seconds on the clock. That is time to do damage, but it's waiting like this that is going to really impede on his ability to do so. If he's going to want to get anything, it's going to have to be a conversion frags without Rapha firing back. That's what I was talking about it being difficult. Don't forget that Rapha now has changed his game up to make sure that there's no way ZeRo4 can get frags. So unless ZeRo4 was running the spawns, now what do you think? ZeRo4 has a limited amount of control. Can he come back still? Slasher.
I mean, he's going to have to catch Rapha the same way Rapha always catches him. So, I mean, no, ZeRo4 has him trapped in this little hallway. Rapha's just going to stand there and let the clock go down. He has to, and a grenade hits him right in the face, though. It's going to be an easy frag for ZeRo4. Is able to get that frag and go to this Mega. Can he get the Mega before Rapha does? And he does, but Rapha is smart enough. Knows ZeRo4 is going to get the Mega, and he went and he took the red. So some perfect play by Rapha, taking the red and the yellow, totally outsmarting ZeRo4. And this is going to make it really difficult for ZeRo4 to get this next frag.
You know, if ZeRo4 could hit some of those same peak rails that we've been seeing from Rapha, I absolutely think that, you know, he could pick up an extra frag or two, and that might be one of the discrepancies that we're seeing here. 5 frags are needed in about 90 seconds, actually less than 90. Rapha's going to be playing this a smart game, and if he kills with this, it's over, and there it is. 1 minute, 20 seconds off the spawn. Great read, and he may not get him here, but he's already hurt enough that he's not going to be doing any damage, and that's exactly what happened. And with just under a minute to go, I guess that I'm okay. I'm safe, Slasher. I'm safe.
You are safe. That's good.
Nice rocket by ZeRo4 though. Good that ZeRo4 is not giving up. He smacked himself in the face with that splash. Okay, that was awesome. 50 seconds remaining. It's now 11-4. Look at that. He was going for that in-your-face plasma technique, and it didn't quite work out. But we'll see. ZeRo4 is still alive. Don't forget, he's just knocked down to the loser's bracket where he could face... Well, he's going to face the winner of the Noobs versus DeHang, correct?
Yes, and we will have that matchup right after this one is over.
All right. So that'll be good because we got 21 seconds left in this one. 13-5. Our final score. And actually, someone finally messaged me on IRC Slasher. I believe someone from ESL, and they know why I'm experiencing my sound issue. Apparently, it is another process that is interfering with Punkbuster. And that would make sense as to why it has the same problems on both sound cards.
Because
like, I would probably hug and kiss that person if I could figure out how to fix it. But he says I need to kill some processes, so I don't know.
In my opinion, Punkbuster is garbage. I really can't believe it's still here around.
Yeah, it's almost... yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to see.
So, ZeRo4 getting taken down by Rapha. 3-0 straight maps by Rapha. Looking really impressive there.
Now, are you surprised? Are you surprised? Like, what are your thoughts?
I mean, we didn't get to see Rapha play Griffin, which I thought would have been an earlier accurate representation of how well Rapha's playing. ZeRo4 almost lost to Noobs. The Noobs is playing real well, but I guess we'll get to see how that goes. So yeah, no, Rapha played real well. I think ZeRo4 probably didn't play up to par to where he should have, making mistakes on ZTN, and then in the middle of DM13. But Rapha, I would give the credit to Rapha there for playing really strong games, being sneaky, being smart, and just taking it home. So Rapha is in the grand finals now.
Yes, and we know that ZeRo4 will be in the loser bracket final, we will see him again soon. He has an opportunity to go back up against Rapha. It could happen. Now let's see, that leaves 3 games remaining. One of them a best of 5. So we're still doing pretty good on our schedule. Might be running just a little bit over, but I don't think anyone's going to be too upset about that if that were actually to happen.